We are recording. Hi, welcome to Baba's Interviews, Morgan. This is a video project about people who took unconventional career paths. Can we know about you?
Yeah, I'm Morgan, Morgan Whitney. I'm a composer, a sound designer. I do sound editing as well. That's kind of half of my current career. I'm also a financial controller at a company.
Cool.
Yeah, and I've been kind of doing both of these things now, really trying to lean into the creative pursuits.
Great. That's like you have really unconventional combination.
Yeah.
Great. Can we know about your education? How did this sound design career started for you?
Definitely. So I have always played music since I was really young, but I started doing kind of
We have dogs running around.
keep it going. Yeah, so I started really getting into production work in university after playing piano growing up, and kind of from there, you learn a lot of skills of working in like a DAW and stuff. And then when I moved here a couple years ago, I really started leaning into the production side of things and also still the composing side. Yeah, so I guess kind of through my own time and effort, I kind of picked up those skills.
Do you remember how did you selected the piano, not the other thing? Like, was this
Ooh.
some encouragement or what you heard of it and I want to do this? What was it
Yeah,
about?
I remember specifically, I think I was probably like 7 years old, and there were kids that were always going to band, and I wasn't in band, and a lot of them had keyboards. And they would always turn them on because they were battery powered, and they would play like the first line of For Elise. And I remember just thinking, I want to do that. Oh my God.
Okay. You have a dog.
Yeah,
already.
I'm used to
Okay.
it. Yeah.
I hope I will have a dog one day. That's good,
They're
really
great.
nice.
Yeah. Lots of energy. So
Okay.
I started learning piano, and then at a certain point, probably when I was like 9 or 10, I tried to quit, and at that point, I was not allowed to quit. So I was kind of encouraged.
Okay, great.
There was an agreement that I would play 30 minutes of piano for like 30 minutes of video games, and that kind of kept me going for a long time until I was probably like 14 or so, and then I really started to actually enjoy playing piano and like playing covers, and then I really leaned in, and then like most of my playing became like not this mandated like classical
Did you
music.
study music afterwards? How did that happen? Like the formal education,
Yeah.
how did it happen for you?
As far as music, I took piano lessons from when I was 8 to 18 for classical, and then I also did like 4 years of jazz piano too.
Jazz piano.
Yeah, so
That's
both of those.
really specific and unique. Okay.
Yeah, they're kind of like the traditional study. So I had like one teacher for classical and then one for jazz later on.
If people do not know about jazz piano, how would you explain that jazz piano is different than classical piano?
Yeah, classical piano is kind of just the sheet music, and it's really about like bringing expression to like what's written, but you can't really change notes or anything. And jazz is the total opposite, where you have like a really bare bones piece of sheet music, and it's all about like improvising and like responding and like coming up with ideas in the moment. So yeah, it
It's
really
more free.
it is. They're kind of when you're learning it, like the jazz piano teacher is kind of always like poking at the classical for being really stiff and formal and yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
So how did also then, if you are doing financial auditing stuff, did
Yep.
you also I don't know what will happen about this episode, but I like it
Yeah.
sort of.
A little bit of chaos.
Yeah, so how did the economic, financial things, did you had formal education on that also, but that happened?
Yes, for that. So when I went to university, I was kind of deciding if I was going to go all in on doing piano or do something more like practical, I guess. And it's kind of not the traditional route, but my mom was always really encouraging me to do piano because she wanted me to have this passion
Yeah.
or something. But in the end, I think I felt nervous about like having that become like my whole life, and you have to practice like 6 hours, 8 hours a day, and I was really worried about losing that kind of passion. So I kind of made a pretty practical, pragmatic decision, and I guess I went, and I always like didn't mind doing math, so I went to university.
great.
Yeah, I figured like, oh, I also like something that everyone else hates, so I did that, and then in university I kind of made it a little bit less intense and did math and finance education. Yeah.
I see. Can we talk about your current 2025 summer Morgan. What are you
Yeah.
doing right now?
Okay, sweet. So, yeah, this summer it's been really fun. It's been amazing weather in Amsterdam, so I think it's kept me outside a little bit more. But yeah, I have a couple of projects. I'm still working as my job as a financial controller, so that's always kind of part of my day. I work on a team based in the U.S. too, which really assists because
They're sleeping right now.
exactly, yeah. So I have a lot of time in the morning to do the creative pursuits, which I really enjoy too, because like that's when I feel the most fresh and most ready to engage in everything. And then later on in the day, you know, I can drink coffee and kind of get through doing my other responsibilities. But currently, I have two really strong collaborations I'm really excited about. One of them is with a person here, and we're kind of making an EP that's more of like a beat tape. It's kind of more like hip hop and like samples and thing, which is kind of the music I used to make more. So it's really fun for me to engage in that. And that's getting mastered now, so that's coming out. And then I also have two collaborators back from where I moved in California that are both composers, and we're doing more of like a cinematic kind of, yeah, I don't know, more organic instruments, bigger epic productions. And that's also getting finalized here pretty soon.
About this sound design and mastering things, let's say, how do people collaborate? It's really abstract. Do you cannot, I don't know, sit together, listen all the things together. How does this work when people are different locations?
Yeah.
How does the production work?
Yeah, I think it's definitely nicer to be in person always because you just move things along faster, and it's really great to like respond to things together. But I have these really good friends and collaborators back there, so you know we try to like facilitate that. I think the most important thing is to maximize the amount of the time that you can collaborate, at least in real time. And I think for me, always like the first like 30 minutes, hour that you start working on something is really when you find like the soul of it or something. It's really when the idea gets made, and then everything after that is kind of just trying to like make that vision like actually come to life. So for the people in California, I wake up at 7 a.m. They stay up till 10 p.m. And for this project, we started over like a couple months, like meeting up, each starting something new that was like 10 minutes, and then passing it to the next person, and then that person does something on it, and you kind of work it around, and then you build up all these ideas. And then from those kind of initial conceptions, we like picked one that we actually like start working on. And then we meet like every week and kind of review, see if somebody wants to take it and add some parts that we discuss. Yeah.
Is it something like you get a mail that is a surprise from another person that they did some cool stuff on the sound current version? That's fun. I like it.
It definitely varies from like if it's being really exploratory or if it's like we're kind of getting towards the end and there's less things you can fit inside of it. So like more specific. Sometimes somebody will get really excited and just go a different direction, you know, and like that's really cool to have that energy. Yeah.
Other than these production things, is there something that you are actively learning more than the other things? Like you been in the music production for a very long time, and then as a person who been in doing this for this long, are you still keep learning things about music? What are you learning right now?
Definitely. I feel like if you kind of always keep learning something or have something new, it really makes it fresh, and you get like new perspective and new ideas on everything. So when I first moved here, I guess another music education thing. Yeah, I was like really trying to lean into getting into like doing composing for film. So I found a tutor online. Actually, I found him online, but he's based in Amsterdam. So for kind of like a year on and off, we meet up, and he kind of just gave me like a pretty good framework to think about. I'm very spontaneous and like kind of creating music in the moment, and he was kind of good as someone that could encourage, maybe like have a little bit more planning, intentions.
Structure a bit.
Yeah, and then also learn like some of the traditional composition stuff. Like if you're writing for an orchestra, there's like, each instrument has like a certain range that you can write in, and it sounds different. So yeah, he helped me pick up those skills as well. And also just somebody that is like an expert sort of, that you can get good, specific advice.
Great. I have one unplanned question
Okay.
about that. Do you have a musician that is dearest to your heart more than the other things that really inspired you? I bet there is tens of them, but
Yeah.
like, do you have a special person in piano? Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I think maybe because I've something I've like always struggled with too is like I've made like a lot of like R&B and hip hop and electronic productions, and then also just like solo piano pieces. So it's very all over. I really like someone that can execute like a different style of music really well. It seems like they have like a really inherent ability to go into like a totally different space or genre, and they can, you kind of think they just understand music at this higher level. So I think there's some composers that have done some soundtracks that also have like really good solo album work. So one that's probably less known is this guy, Disaster Piece, who makes a lot of beats that are really hard, but has also made more like orchestral productions. Like he did this horror movie, It Follows, and also this movie called Marcel the Shell with Shoes On. That's like this very cute. It's so totally different, but I like love each one so much, and yeah.
That's cool. I've never heard of him, and I will listen after the interview. Thank you so much. Maybe we talk about the future a little bit, and I have one surprise.
Oh, yeah.
So, what are you building for your future self, for future Morgan? What are you doing for him?
Yeah, I think the thing I'm always focused on in the background, it's really easy to like just jump in and start making music and just explore it, and it's really fun. But you kind of have to always keep in mind that you need to kind of be building a portfolio and sharing it, and also networking and just seeming like kind of on people's radar still.
That's how we met actually. You were in an open filmmaking event.
Yeah, exactly, totally. So I think I'm always working on kind of building out my portfolio more, so people can kind of, see what you do. And part of it too is like, people are going to see you just shortly, so you're kind of trying to create this like content and like showcase the different areas that you're in. So yeah, it always becomes a lot of time if you're doing a lot of things, like doing like the composing and the sound designing and the mixing. I'm also trying to think about if I'm trying to specialize in one of those things. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah.
This is Bubbles Interviews, and I have Bubbles for
sweet.
you.
Nice.
So there is the options with colors and dinosaurs, blah blah. And I will ask my last question while we make bubbles.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's very grown-up thing to do. So
nice.
I have a different bubble, yes.
Yeah.
Because I do this all the time.
I think you've given one of me these before. Yeah.
So the question is, do you remember people ask you when you were a child, what do you want to be when you grow up? Do you remember? Did you have an answer about this?
I actually have a flashback, which is maybe kind of indicative of my later life. I didn't put together, but at the end of our year 6, I think I was probably like 11 years old.
What was it? I will make the bubbles. Don't worry.
Okay, not me too. Yeah. We had to pick what we wanted to be when we grew up, and I think I settled on roller coaster engineer, designer. And it seemed really cool, but I remember the teachers being excited. There's this fun thing. But I remember as the project went along, I did a lot of research, and then you kind of find out that this is like a really niche hobby, which is like I was 11. I don't know why I needed to like really discern. And I think it made me think like I don't know if it's actually possible to do that. So I switched to being a nuclear power plant engineer.
Very specific.
Yeah, and I remember the teachers being kind of disappointed that I had like taken, maybe there was this fun thing that popped up. Yeah, so I guess switching hobbies depending on.
Yeah. Great, thank you so much. Have a nice day. Bye bye too.
See you.
Hope you get inspired.